Hello students, how are we going? I've had a few requests to look at how to make a enemy that moves vertically. So we do have currently this cog enemy down the bottom that is moving horizontally over a certain distance. And I thought in this video then I will show you how to essentially take that same enemy and turn them into a vertically moving enemy. Now again, this may not be the best way to do it, but I'm going to use this one because we've done the hard lifting already with this enemy down here. And we're just going to quickly retrofit it to move up and down this space. So how might we go about that? So the first thing we will do is essentially make a copy of the two parts that make up this horizontal enemy, and that of course is the enemy scene. So we'll simply duplicate that and give it a new name. I'll call this vertical enemy, so just put in the word vertical in front. Okay, and because obviously I've tested this before, it is saying that we've done that before, but that's okay. And the second thing I need to copy is the enemy script. So again, I will duplicate that. I'm going to put the word vertical in front as well. Okay, and save that. So I now have a vertical enemy script and a vertical enemy scene. Now, if I go into that vertical enemy scene, however, the current script connected to it might not be correct. In this case, it is. You can see if you look at that path that's popped up, it has gone. Oh no, actually, it's not correct. So what I'm going to do is disconnect it. So there's no script now. And then when I do connect it, I'm going to make sure that I'm choosing my vertical enemy script. Now, it's not that one. I want to go into my scripts folder. That's where I put it. And this is the script I'm choosing now to link to that one there. So now I have a script that is the correct one that I would like. Okay, so that has now created essentially a new enemy, but it will act exactly the same as the horizontal. Now, what I need to change here is when we talk about horizontal, we're talking about the X value, so the X position, etc. Now, to do vertical, we now need to talk about the Y value instead. So essentially, in this particular case at least, it's as simple as changing all of those X references to Y references, because everything else about this is going to work the same. It's going to have a starting position. We're going to tell it how far to move and at what speed. It's going to move in the Y direction now, so the vertical direction, until it gets to that position and then turn around and come back. So we're not changing the overall behavior, we're just changing the direction. So essentially, if I come in here now and I'm just going to change literally everything that says X at the moment, to be a Y. And of course, we're going to start seeing errors as we do this, because as soon as I start changing some of these variable names, it's going to complain that I'm using variables in other places that are not correct. So I literally am coming through and I'm doing everything the same, just changing everything to be Y. And I'm going to get rid of this line. This was actually here just for some testing purpose, so I don't actually need that one at the moment. So we'll keep changing all these things to be Ys. Now you can do find and replace. I'm not going to demonstrate that here, but it's actually quite easy to do find and replace, just like you would in an editing program like Word or something like that. The only reason and the main reason I'm not doing that here is it's actually easy to find and replace too much. So for the sake of the few that I needed to do here, I'm not going to do that today. But here we go. I've changed all my X's now to Y's. So I'm going to save that scene. And now if I go into my main scene in the 2D mode, I can now take one of my vertical enemies and place it in my scene. Now I'm placing it at the top because that's where I'd like to start, and I know it starts from there and it's going to move down in this case. So if I click on that scene, remember from this enemy we have a speed that we can set and a distance. So I'm going to actually make this move at about 150 and go about 400 positions forward. So let's try this out now. Press play, and there you go. We can see that we have this enemy now that moves up and down in the same fashion as the original, but it's now a vertical enemy. So we didn't really have to do much at all, just duplicate, change the X's to Y's to change the direction, if you like, that that enemy now moves. So a fairly simple video and a fairly simple process. Again, there are better ways, or definitely different ways, but possibly better ways to do this. But the idea was to take something we already have that was working and just change it up slightly. So I hope this helps you in your game development. And if not, yeah, look out for the next video. Thank you very much.